Hello, I'm Rachel Wiest, and I'm here with Stacy Anfinson. Hello, Stacy.
Hey, Rachel.
And we're going to talk about market analytics again. So first we're going to talk about our usual market indicators, and then we'll go into a little more depth regarding our inventory levels. So let's start out with January activity as compared to January 2012. How were the basic monthly indicators?
Well, Rachel, we're filming in Rachel's office this month, and you notice the bright red paint that she has in here, and it's symbolic of the market. It's that hot. January closed sales were up 33%, pendings were up 3%, contingent sales were up 30%, and showings were up 50%. All very, very strong indicators.
Now, I also understand that expireds and withdrawals are down.
That's one of the metrics that we look at in terms of health of the market indicators. So theoretically, when somebody lists a house, they want to have a successful offer and then a closing, and if they don't, it's expired or withdrawn for whatever reason that could be. But both the expireds were down 57%, huge decrease. I think that's one of the most positive metrics that I saw in January. And the withdrawals were down 3%. But the expired listings are, for the most part, people that didn't get their price.
Yes.
And the listing period expired. And so when you see a big decrease of that, it's probably indicative of sellers getting their price versus not getting it in the past.
So because we've seen fewer expired listings, are we seeing a decrease in the number of people who have to drop their price?
Yeah, we are. It's been amazing. In 2010, 49% of the inventory had at least one price drop. 2011, it was still at 49%. 2012 was a drop to 42%. And then January of this year, only 36% of inventory had at least one price drop. So that's a nice decrease compared to where we were 4 years ago.
That's absolutely correct. That's a huge improvement over what we've been seeing. Okay, so what do we know about inventory? Let's take a look at where the inventory levels are.
Well, in 2010, 85% of the price brackets that I segmented, that's 85%, had an oversupply. Now remember, oversupply is 10 months or higher. In 2011, it dropped to 83%. In 2012, it went down to 59%, and in January of this year, based on January closed sales, only 20% of the price brackets that I analyzed throughout the 4 main counties have an oversupply of housing. So that is a phenomenal decrease, and so you put that with the lower percentage of expired listings out there, it's really strong signs for sellers in the market right now.
Excellent, excellent news. So Stacy, what are you looking for going forward in February and March?
Well, typically between January and February, we see about a 3 to 5% bump in inventory between those 2 months. The bump between December listings and January listings is about 1%. And historically, that's where we were this year. But that January to February bump in inventory is going to be something that we're going to look at, and the market needs to meet up with current demand. So be paying attention to inventory levels, see if the trend of expired listings, the percentage keeps going down, see if the percentage of price brackets with an oversupply keeps going down. And the other metric is financial concessions. We want to see, theoretically, in a market that's strong, you don't need to pay financial concessions. That number has really hung between 50 and 60% for about the last 2 or 3 years. So I'd like to see that drop down into the 40s.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, we're hoping new construction continues to rebound because there's clearly a shortage of new construction at this point.
Yes, there is.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll be talking next month again about how February went. Please remember to register for the Triangle MLS Tech Fair. We'd love to see you on March 14th, and the theme is It's a Jungle Out There. I think you're going to have a great time, and there are some wonderful sponsors and vendors coming in for the day, as well as speakers and demos. So please put this on your calendar and also register online, and we'll see you next month.